Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good day, wherever you are in the world. This is Carol Matebula once again saying hi, 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 hi. Now, as I was saying earlier, this is a part two of what does it mean to be vibrantly African. Now, for me, vibrantly African has different meanings, especially having to be the daughter who grow up, saw the world at large, and really, as I was exploring as I noticed similarities that I didn't even think that I would see these kind of things away from my country where I was brought up, which is South Africa. And I'm so honored and so lucky that I was given a chance to travel, to travel the world and to learn and to hear people's stories and to hear so many different cultures and different people and different ideas and different I've been very, very lucky, and I take that and I thank God for God exposing me to the world at large. And having to be exposed to the world, I also I find out things that has never changed in the world, that remain the same because of people speak and people express themselves, and things that needed to be taken seriously for the future generations, not to undergo through these things that do not change, that remain the same. And so I decided to myself, Carol, as a daughter of Africa, having to be lucky enough that God made you to be the one who could see beyond the oceans, who could travel thousands and thousands miles away from your home to do the journey that God sent you here, which is hear the story of people, find out what people are dealing with, find out what are the issues that each and every country, each and every vibrancy of each people are dealing with. Now, as you can see, I love life. And I respect everyone that I have met. Now, what has made me really to be a part of the change, especially in a Black community, and when I say the Black community, I'm talking about Black community at large. Bear with me, you guys. I don't like this thing that I'm just seeing a little bit of my. I would like to see my hands exactly. So now I am doing vibrantly African things. Actually, three reasons. The first reason, I would love to see the change. And when I say I would love to see the change, what do I mean by that? I would love to see the change around the Black community, once again, at large, because the Black community, are struggling with issues, and issues of lack of protection, lack of connectionness, and lack of togetherness. Black community are struggling with lack of protection, lack of togetherness, and lack of stability. So those are this one, it's the last one that I put. And I say that the only way for people to have safety, it's to be given power for them to design their own path. It is for the Black community to be given a chance, and not to be given a chance by anyone else, but to be given a chance by themselves. And when I say to be given a chance by themselves, is that every Black person who's walking on this planet, for them to see the change, they have to acquire change within themselves. They have to be the change they want to see for tomorrow. I say we are all the ambassadors of the future. We are all the architects of change. Now, being an architect of change, it's changing our narratives. How do we think about life? How do we think about ourselves as individuals? The other day, I was looking at this woman. I don't know her so much, but she's very much in the United Kingdom. politics. She is one of those sisters who are very, very into the birth of the politics in the United Kingdom. And she was talking about how you look at things in life. Sometimes it is very important to move away from the same kind of people that you see on a daily, because sometimes you end up to be like those that you see on a daily. So that's why it's important to mix and mingle with different kinds of people so that you can change your mindset, so that you can change of the world, so that you can meet those who would speak the same volume, especially in terms of change. And when I say change, what do I mean change? I think the most important thing that we need to change is taking responsibility for change. And when I say taking responsibility for a change, the first thing is the economy. The economy of the Black people, it's a mess. And wherever you go in the world, it remains the mess. Yes, we've got multi-billionaires, those who have made lots and lots and lots of money. And I clap for those who have done that. They have understood the art of the game. Now, how many of us have understood the art of the game? And I think it's really, really important that we get together. We have these groups where we are paving the future of tomorrow. And the future of tomorrow is creating that balance of safety, balance of togetherness, and of course, stability. Because if we are not safe, we will never be together because we are afraid. And if we are not, if we are afraid, we are not stable enough. And then if we are not stable enough, that's when we go out all the time to go to neighbors who are our neighbors, our friends and family, and ask for their support system so that we can be stable. But you gotta remember that everybody in this world came here to stabilize themselves. And nobody would stop and say, you know what? Let's shamelessly look after the poor Africans. The poor Africans has been suffering for centuries and centuries and centuries. And it is high time that now we stop and look after them. We stop and apologize to them. Nobody's going to do that, because remember, life it's a kind of an energy line that leaves every second, and every second something is created. Every second change is created, and those people, they are busy with those seconds of change for their own people, for their own kind. So when we think that those people are going to stop and look at us, it's a dream that will never become reality, because those people, they are busy with themselves. They're dealing with issues themselves, among themselves, that we are not aware of. So what I'm trying to say here is that we can never blame anyone today. Yes, there has been abused before. Yes, there has been lots of things. And yes, this abuse, they still happen even today. But what I'm trying to say is that the only way for us to change, it's respecting each and every soul that tries to bring change. Every puzzle in a vibrantly African community needs to realize that. Let us look at her, let us look at him. He's saying something of change, especially in this in these days that we are in. Everybody talks about change. We are experiencing it. People they're talking about the most important histories in their lives today. Brexit, it's one of them. And we don't know what Brexit is about. Yes, we hear the stories, we hear the bits and pieces that the media comes and tell us. But do we really know the depths of it beneath? What does it mean, this Brexit? We've got the Chinese who set up the system of coming to Africa about 50 years ago. Somebody was, I like to do research. What you see today in China, the Chinese entering, it is not a template that came 5 years ago. It is not a template that came 10 years ago. It is a template that has been there. It has been the dream of the Chinese people to come in Africa and to have a piece of the world. Chinese, they gathered together and they spoke in secret doors, paving the China that you see today. And they paved the China that it is today collectively. And so for me, I can have the people who are busy with the subject that I'm busy with to have secret discussions about how do we change our life for better, not how to hate anyone really, not how to blame anyone really, because the more we blame other people, we get nowhere. But it is about how to pave our lives, how to bring change in our lives. And really, because of what I find as well, there's a lot of, I don't know what's going on with our community. And this is not me blaming really, because I wish support system can be there for the Black community. And wherever I go, whatever I hear, it is that we do not have a support system. Yesterday, I went to this amazing gathering yesterday, conducted by one of the most amazing brother that I had. And I thought, now this is the change that we are seeking for. Brother OV, they are a group of health and wellness people, and they are emphasizing around our hair. Oh, yesterday I listened and I thought, this is it. And when I left that place, I was so excited. I felt hope. And that's what we need as people. We just need a sense of hope, but not the dying hope. A hope that has this seed that has been planted, and you can feel the movement around it. You can feel the change, and you can see that change is coming. And yesterday, when I listened to this amazing brother, I felt like, wow, generation to come, there's a plan for you, because people like Brother Ovi, they are creating a plan, a future plan for you to be safe, to be connected, so you can have that sense of stability. And that is created by we valuing what we say, because what we say and how we do it, it is so important. So me, as I'm a part of the wellness sector. I'm a part of the health and wellness sector. And also this is very important to really understand, you guys, that we have to have doors like our hands. You see, these hands, everything is understood where everything belongs. So these hands can move together as husband and wife. And why am I bringing this point? Is that if you are in politics, gather together as politicians, because you're dealing with the subject of the world, the subject of stopping those who are trying to come in and steal what's rightfully ours. So politicians are very right to be there. But then what we need to do then, under this umbrella of politicians, we need to remember that South Africa, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, America, the Caribbean, whatever that is Africa, let us get together. Let us create a template that will speak one word. There is a sister that I spoke to yesterday. I'm meeting her tomorrow. She's going to be a part of Vibrantly African, and willingly so trying to support this. I call it a movement. Somebody has said to me, Vibrantly African, it is a movement. Indeed, it is a movement. And I'll tell you why later. Why do I think Vibrantly African is a movement? Now, being politicians around the world, having one word, that will create an identity. You know, we've got this thing called Black Lives Matters. Black Lives Matters, indeed. But who are we addressing that to? I think it is highly important that we reflect back to ourselves and say deeply, silently within ourselves that Black Lives Matters. And Black Lives Matters by us engaging more to ourselves and consuming more to ourselves, because consumers. But where do we consume? So now this say to me, Carol, what is the key word that you are using as Vibrantly African, so that it can create a dialogue to people? And this, I never thought of it. So this was a sister who said to me, create a template, create a way that everybody can find themselves in. And I came up with a hashtag, what does it mean to be vibrantly African? So every one of you can take that and start asking yourself that question. What does it mean to be vibrantly African? Or how does it feel to be vibrantly African? Hashtag, how does it feel to be vibrantly African? How amazing that is. And from the moment she said that, I then started looking at myself and asking myself, what does it mean, Carol, for you to be vibrantly African? Then I realized that this is exactly what I'm talking about. Because I get lost because when we get it together, there's all different kinds of subjects. You'll be talking about spirituality. While you talk about spirituality and the sense of health and well-being, immediately politics takes over. And then you get lost. You're like, okay, what do I do? How do I? And then your subject suddenly dies off. So I think it's important to stick on one subject as groups of 10, as I have mentioned, that we've got this 10 fingers and each one of them. And when they get it together like this, you can hear the force. And the force is so vast that you feel it around this room, that we are all together and we know what we are talking about. So my subject is health and well-being and the business side of it. Around health and well-being, around art and cultures, because of those are the subjects that I find very closely to me. And if you look at Vibrantly African, as everybody says, it has a lot. But when you look at it, it's narrowed down into the essence of health and well-being in all what it is. So this is it. So be a part of Vibrantly African. Support Vibrantly African. Be the change that you want to see by supporting people who are bringing change. Since Vibrantly African has been happening, I've been traveling to different workshops and hearing voices, hearing amazing things. The other day I went to this event. It's called The Hidden Signs of African, the hidden side of Black music, the hidden science behind the Black music. That was incredible. I learned so much there. So once again, who am I? I'm a South African woman who is lucky enough to travel from different countries to learn and also to gather connections. So Vibrantly African, it's also about gathering connections to explain why. What does it mean to be vibrantly African? In a short terms, it means let us close the doors around economy. Let's get together what I will do and what I'm doing without people seeing out there. There's a lot done in Vibrantly African. I wake up every day at 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes. Sometimes I wake up at 6 o'clock. Sometimes I wake up at 7 o'clock. But immediately I'm awake. I give myself maybe about 20 minutes, 30 minutes time for myself. And everything, it's gone into Vibrantly African to see the change. And this change can never be done only by me. It will be done by that collectiveness of being African people, so that we can create that safety net, so that we can be stable, and so that we can know how to gather these financials for as people. You know, we cry about economy. Nobody's disturbing our economy. Our economy is that as people, we need to teach each other how to spend. As they call us, we are the biggest consumers. Yesterday, they were talking about black Caribbean castor oil. I got fascinated when I got here. When everybody asked me what is Caribbean castor oil, everybody talked about it, men and women. And when I looked at their hair were fantastic. So I went to buy castor oil, and I don't know where is that bottle. I think I throw it away. Yes, I did throw it away. Now, I bought this castor oil, and immediately when I used this castor oil, I started having these things on my fingers. This little dot here. And even today, you see that dot there, even today, my finger is still struggling. And so yesterday, I met this guy at the embassy of Jamaica, and they were talking about the power of castor oil. And they were talking about how to monitor our products, because we don't know our products. And this is also another thing. I'm so passionate to you guys about these issues that affect us. This guy said something, Ovi said something, and I thought he is so right. He said, today people are building their homes in the sky. They go into Mars and building their homes. They bring their ecosystem and etc. And guess what we are busy with? That made me laugh, and I thought, how backwards are we? If we are the people who are dealing with our hair, to understand our hair, to master our hair, and I thought, what has made us to lose our hair? Yes, we might take it back into slavery. Yes, we might take it back into apartheid. Yes, we might take it back in terms of we were made to hate ourselves. But how we sing that song? It's like South Africans, When I hear South Africans saying, I can't move because of apartheid, I say, you use that slogan because of it's an easy way out of you taking responsibility. Our hair problem, it is black hair, is the most biggest market in the world in terms of economy, in terms of financials. The black women, somebody has said to me, a black woman would rather have her family going under poverty to be able to have hair, amazing Brazilian hair. And this Brazilian hair, they don't come cheap. You pay about, I think about 1,000 something, depending on the quality. You see, and this quality need maintaining. So you would find that at the end of the year, some people spend about 100 and something to their hair, 1,000. Some people spend 300, 3,000 to their hair. Some people, it all differs. But we spend money on our hair as black people, buying all different kinds of products. And where do we buy these products, including myself? We buy these products into the Indian market. My God. And when you go to these Indian markets, you ask them, this is what I'm looking for my hair. Which one can I use? And it's always men as well. It's always men, which is also very, very interesting. It's always men selling the products to the black woman who have no clue what our hair is about. I don't know why there are women, they're never in the shops. Maybe there are women says, no, we don't want to deal with black women. You go pick up their money and come back. That for me is politics. And that as well is health, because these Indian people can sell us anything. Now, having to realize yesterday that actually, and this is not politics, this is rectifying the financial side of it. So politics will always come. So for me, the political side of things is that economies. How do we become wise users? Somebody was saying yesterday, how do we get to the people? People need to get to themselves. Nobody should come to us and give us a lesson and say, do not go buy hair products to the Indians. Please buy products to the black small businesses that are emerging and that have studied the damage that these other people do, their products do to their hair. Most of us, we lose our hairline. Most of us today, we're bald because of we bought these products to these people, and these people have to manufacture our products. And this is not political. This is just identifying where change is needed as vibrantly African people. Change needs to be done by realizing where we buy. If the Indian people are busy with our hair and they are partnering with the Black people in their shop. Because whenever you go to this Indian hair shops, you will always find that the Black person is sweeping the floor, and it's always the case. Or the Black person has a cloth where they're dusting the product, but the people who are explaining are the Indians. For me, that is a lack of respect to us. How do we then take money and put it to those people who do not value us? So needs to awaken and start supporting each other. So now, coming back to Vibrantly African, why then Vibrantly African? As I said, I'm in health and well-being, and I have been in health and well-being for about 25 years. And in these 25 years, what I have seen, it is a pain. Even today, my heart still bleeds on this. Why there was not enough Black people studying Vunkua African massage? Why? Even today, when I've been around the West, and even today, the West is still phoning me. Even today, the West is still valuing the power of Vunkua. They know what it does, but the Black people don't know. And when you go to the Black people, and one will say, oh, I'm doing massage too. Oh, I'm doing it the way you do it too. But they don't understand the depths of it. So I think what we need to do, we need to take innovation seriously, because they knew it is something that it's new, and it's something that will bring stability. It's something that will bring safety. It's something that will bring economy. I say other people, they outsource a lot, but they know that they're outsourcing. With us, we don't know when we are outsourcing. We don't know when we are, well, I don't know what is the word from outsourcing and insourcing, I shall call it. And I think it's important that we respect each and everybody who's bringing a change, who's grouping people together and say, let us group ourselves together and sing knowledge to the consumers, sing knowledge to the establishments. Let us enhance our enterprises by getting together and saying, what is her story? She comes with Vibrantly African. What does it mean? I have made videos before and say, guys, come in. I have selected the most beautiful location so that we can get in there and smell the essence of success. So if you are a business that has, and once again, remember, businesses has stages. There are different stages that completes establishment. Step one, you come into business. You don't know where to go. You don't know which door you need to go to enter to stabilize your business, to understand the word business. It begins as ideology. It begins as an idea. And that idea has to be nourished with an image around it. And then after that, then you think about, wow, what colors do I have to be identified with? Suddenly, wow, and colors is so important. Color, it's like when you meditate, the first thing you close your eyes, if you are really relaxed within yourself, what you will see, it's blinks of colors. And the colors that are emerging more, and I want everyone to do this. Go somewhere near the water where the sun is the most and just close your eyes and see how much varsity of color you would see. Color is an identity. So after you have seen the color, you would think of an object that people will make you understand this is you. Then there comes the logo. And after the logo, there comes a little bit of finances that you have that will make you to start going into this journey. And you gotta spend for you to be recognized. Now, after you have identified what it is that you need to spend upon, suddenly you need to position yourself. And positioning, it's getting out there for people to know you. Because if you start your business, you might have the most beautiful shoes today. If nobody knows that you have your shoes and they don't even know which street you at, which number you are, nobody would know. And because of we start the business without clarity of we got to be rational when we think about business. We got to be rational because if we started with the emotions, we think that people have to find us. But no, you gotta go out there. You gotta go out there. You gotta go out there. You gotta go out there until you have reached the goal where you're going. And when I say goal, each and every year, your business has to grow to a certain goal where you are going. So Vibrantly African, it's one of those doorways where you can come if you have something amazing to position yourself to the people. We will bring the people. I'm doing my level best to bring as much as we can people in Vibrantly African. There's a lot of amazing people who have put Vumkoa in their magazines without me paying even a cent. There are people today who are doing newsletters. I'll forward you guys newsletters that are going daily, weekly to thousands and thousands of people. Is that Vibrantly African? It's on the move. So what you don't see, yes, I'm not so much in Facebook because this is manipulation. The manipulation of Facebook. Facebook decides who gets to be identified from how much money you pay on their ads. Facebook. When I started using Facebook, which was about 8 years ago, it wasn't like that. But today, if you want to study Vibrantly African, don't study it via what you see on Facebook. Do not study the power of Vibrantly African under Instagram because I'm new in these things. But what I'm doing, I'm on the ground. I go to where people are and I communicate. Vibrantly African will be packed at the end of the day. So come in, bring your products. Let us learn how to stabilize our enterprises once again. Let us be the right consumers, buying, using our dollars, using our pounds correctly. Use our pounds to our people. And when I say this now, I'm not talking about it as a political. Everybody can come to Vibrantly African to understand the essence of health and well-being. As of course, an umbrella into Vibrantly African, it is about health and well-being at its essence, as we will have the side about mindfulness, where the yoga, meditation, and amazing brother by the name of Kofi, he will be presenting the martial art. We have the Kazimba, and hopefully we will have the what do you call this one again? It's a kind of it's a little bit like capoeira, but it's from the Caribbean. They call it what is it, Ingoma? I forgot what it is. It's also one of the martial art way of understanding how to protect yourself while you also free your bone structural awareness. And then we also have the part for the massage, tarot cards, and etc. There it's kind of the spiritual side of Vibrantly African. And then we've got a side where we're emphasizing on home, interior. And please, we are left with 2 months. Do hear me out. If you're a company that has just started, or maybe you are on the third side of your business, or maybe you have been there for a long time, it's about us getting together. So there's always 2 shops that are different. There's always 2 products, 2 skincare, 2 massage therapies, everything it's with two pairs so that we can be able as well to make financials. I'm not planning to put people there just to make money. I'm putting people there for the dialogue. So let us bring the change. As you have heard, people are going to Mars to create their hotels and their homes, and we are busy with our hair. So maybe it's high time that we're starting to balance our financials by supporting each other so that we can create something of bigness one day. People are, even we hear the implementation of this G5, it's not so healthy for Mother Nature, but people are doing it because people are fascinated with the power of innovation. People want to bring change. Now, what are we doing? We are complaining about now we've been captured by the Chinese. Oh, Chinese, they've got something coming. We are not so sleeping as we are. If the Chinese come into the Black community and realizing that suddenly a blackness as vibrantly black people around the world, they are singing one song of togetherness. These Chinese people would realize that they are opening the doors to us. The only thing that we're gonna have to do to deal with the African people is to respect them and honor them and know that we will go according to their song, what they want us to do. So this is Carol Matebula saying, vibrantly African, it means change. Vibrantly African, it means innovation. Vibrantly African, it means let us teach each other as we're going to have different kinds of stages of businesses under one umbrella. So do come, be a part of this movement. As I said earlier, I'm from South Africa and I'm not in the United Kingdom forever. I'm here as one who came here to select the connectionness, so that when I move to the continent, we can all work together, those who have worked here. You know, life, it's like the ocean. It's ever flowing, space in time. Life is an energy flow that ever flows like the river and oceans. So your success, you never know what you can get, begins with us connecting deeply. I bow. This is Carol Matebula saying, come in. There's still stores available. Invite me, call me. Let's come and have discussions. Let's talk about what are the challenges do you get in your business? Where can I help? Where can someone who's in Vibrantly African today can bring the change? And I shall say, I love you guys. Let us respect each other's time. Time is of the essence. So when we meet together, let us not only study from behind and analyze stories behind. Let us get through the mouth of the horses and hear what are they trying to do. So I'm one of those. About Vibrantly African, connect me. You've got my number, especially those who have been discussing with me. Let's talk. One love. This is Carol Matebula. Till next time.